Ladies and gentlemen, Wesley Watkins.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I tell you, yeah, what's important when you started, what you said you couldn't see was not part. You were another one to lead the way before they lasers from the heavens plummet towards the gray matter. If the aforementioned subject was used by the latter, predominantly people, fly towards the steeple, get out on your knees and pray to your gods to be a free people, but to be fair, not that you really care. The cold control you've come to know is organized religion. It's exactly the ties government holds lay impending revolution, maybe revision on the designs of the prison cater for themselves in order, but then if things got really bad, we could all just hustle way towards the border, said. If you woke up one morning to find Uncle Sam Beckett, how would you feel? Would it even be real? Would it be like the oil that killed all the seals? Would it be pride or maybe remorse? You try to hide and hide your horse, think having a gun is really fun. That you're in a flick till your best friend gets picked up by a sniper on the 24th story. And that sounds grand, it sounds like a blast. At least you got a good story to tell your grandkids who you raised on Magnum to Hemingways. When Uncle Sam decides to call, they'll blow up the bastards anyways. Just, new jams.
Oh, right.
Just
Right on.
writing on the fly,
Oh, okay. Very cool. Thank you so much for coming by this morning.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for the coffee, too.
Oh, yeah, of course. What do you think?
It's great.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
My favorite coffee shop is really close.
Which was the Laughing Latte, which was what?
Huckleberry Roasters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, down on Pecos.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. It's a little too far for me. I mean,
I know exactly,
But please tell the listening and viewing audience who you are.
I'm Wes Watkins. I'm a guy you've seen around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
See me, I played with Air Dubai and Petals of Spain and Nathaniel Rateliff and Bonnie and the Beard and Emma Floria and Rowdy Shadehouse and like everybody at this point. And now I am focusing on The Other Black, which is my giant band that started as 27 people, and now there's 11 of us.
Oh, wow. Pared down to 11, huh?
Yeah.
How did that happen? You just didn't need 16 different parts?
When I started, I wanted a big gospel sound.
Oh, okay.
So I had a choir. My sister was in the band. I had a 6-piece vocal section for a while. Then I wanted a big horn section too, because I'm a horn player. You gotta have a big horn section. Then all of a sudden you have 12 people that are just, vocals and horns, and then the rest of the band. And, like, a big part, like, it could at any point end up being that big again. Not that venues, don't worry, venues. It could end up being that big again for, like, big headlining shows, But the thing is, when people are in a place where they're, like, having discontent with something, it's not always easy for us to be like, all right, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. Because sometimes you really love what you're doing, but you have discontent with it, know? So I had to make cuts. Which at first, with 27 people, it was kind of fun because they were my friends still. Like, we could be goofy about it. I felt like Donald Trump, you're fired, And now I realized how sucky it was to feel like Donald Trump.
Yeah, feels good for a second.
Yeah, it felt good. But I didn't know then, that was 4 years ago. He was still supporting Hillary. Oh, Yahtzee. But anyway, it was fun. And then, like, you start to get really close to people and it gets hard,
Yeah.
But, like, it's good because there's a lot of bands that I feel like wouldn't have happened without me having to make that call,
I just wanted to say one of the first times that I ever saw you, I was actually in Austin, Texas for South by Southwest and walking down, 5th Street, I think, kind of the main 6th Street. And I remember hearing some horn and then seeing this crowd, right? And so you see a crowd, so you go join the crowd. And I looked in and you were standing in the middle and you were playing with somebody. And it was something that had just kind of come together naturally because I think I was kind of in the area and I saw you playing and him playing. And it was just a really cool thing. And I remember taking a couple of photos and not realizing until I got back home that it was you down there. So I just thought that was so cool. And then, like you said, see you all over the place performing with different folks. And so tell a little bit about your background. Where did you learn to play your instruments? And
I've always kind of sung, grew up in the church. My mom used to sing me. She's a singer. She doesn't say she's a singer. She used to sing to me all the time. My older sister then was like, you're going to learn how to sing harmonies. And we used to call her the Little General because she would whip it into us, man. And then just being in church, played keys was my first, actually harmonica was my first instrument. Terrible at it. Don't play anymore. Never really played, so I can't say that. But piano, I played piano for a while.
Okay.
I always wanted to play trumpet and then ended up in middle school, picked up a trumpet. Was lucky enough to have a teacher who like really cared when he saw that I cared, and I had a hard time in middle school as a kid, like getting into fights all the time, and then hiding it from my parents and being in all sorts of trouble, Not because of anything except for I was nerdy. Anyway, and then this teacher, he just kind of took pity on me and, helped me out. His name was Martin Martinez, and he used to play second to Doc Severinsen.
Oh, yeah, for a Tonight Show.
Right. And when it was still in Vegas.
Oh, okay. I didn't even realize that was...
Yeah, they always move around. I didn't realize that either, but they move around a ton, but it used to be in Vegas.
Okay.
And at least that's what he told me, And he's played like it, so I believe it. And then after that, I went to Denver School of the Arts for high school. Which was the biggest culture shock because there weren't a whole lot of black people. And there were not a whole lot of poor people more than there were not a whole lot of black people, I came in both. So I was a guy yelling at people, don't touch me, stop hugging me. Who are you? I don't know you. I did that for a while. And then my senior year of high school, I ended up homeless week before my 18th birthday.
How? Why? What happened?
My parents started a real messy divorce,
Oh, really?
And it's no fault to anyone, that was a moment of discontent that nobody wanted to recognize. You hold that stuff in, and then it's going to come back and get you, And so in the end, I ended up kind of getting the brunt of it by no fault of anybody's, Playing on the streets. I didn't know what else to do. My birthday's in December. It was a week before my 18th.
Oh, my.
Played on the streets a bunch. I had a friend let me live with them for a couple months. Then went to another friend's for a couple of months, and then stopped going to school altogether. Got disenrolled by a counselor. All this stuff happened. And I just started playing every day, 15 hours probably. Just playing on the streets. Going to Lila European Cafe late night.
Yeah.
Go to Lila, stay up all night, work on music, play music, wander around the city, and then in the morning go and buy a round-trip ticket to the light rail and get on the light rail and sleep.
Oh, wow.
I did that for a couple of years.
Wow.
And, I have friends, every once in a while I could stay with a friend here, a friend there, But a big problem about growing up in the church is that pride, really will bite you in the ass. And I was real proud, too, And then... randomly, it was during the DNC. I'd met Jess Parsons.
Who is that?
She plays with Glowing House.
Okay.
And so I play with her again now, actually, now that I'm back in town. She's rad. She's the iconic woman folk singer of Denver that Denver doesn't know about. But you will soon, Denver.
Mm-hmm.
And I was playing on the street, like walking down to go get to McDonald's. I look over, and there's this girl with this amazing voice. I'm like, wow, she's really good. I watch for a little bit. I keep walking. I turn around. I'm coming back. And I'm like, hey, can I play a song with you? She's like, yeah. So we sit down, we play together. 2 days later, this fool shows up with this djembe, and he's like playing djembe next to me. And I'm like, hey, man, can I help you? He's just grinning at me. I'm like, what are you grinning about? He's like, how you doing, Wes? I was like, how do you know who I am? He's like, it's Nick. And Nick Hammerberg, who's the lead dude from Pedal to Spade. That was my best friend in high school, you know.
Oh.
But he had gone to UNC. He comes back. He says, I can't think of like anybody I'd rather see. I'm just going through some shit that you already went through, you know. And so we catch up. He's like, where you living? I'm like, you're looking at it. He's like, why don't you just come live with me? Me and my buddies were getting this house in Cap Hill. We're going to call it the Olive House. And so that's where Pedals of Spain started. John Shockness used to come over all the time. Air Dubai started from him hanging out with us. I feel like it was a big part of it, him seeing that we were playing shows, and then all of a sudden, like, everybody's playing. And, like, I don't know, it just happened, like, real quick like that. And then years later, like, I had left Air Dubai, you know, I'm getting a call. I was playing with Body and the Beard, and I had started Other Black, and I get a call, and it's like, hey, do you want to come on tour with us? And it's Nathaniel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, sure, yeah, cool, let's do it, man.
And Nathaniel who, for the listening
Nathaniel
audience?
Rateliff,
Yeah.
you know? Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. Which at first, you know, I didn't think I was going to be touring with the Night Sweats. I thought I was going to be doing the folk project.
Okay.
So, like, I was like, whoa, folk project. And then Night Sweats happened. Yeah, that's pretty cool, too, you know? But I must say, like, Nathaniel's, he's another one that his folk sound is an iconic, like, timeless sound, you know? Like, that will never be matched. I love that shit. You know, it's great. I'm a big sentimental, you know?
And so I saw last night you made a post, and you were talking about a guy that you hadn't seen since you were in Australia.
Yeah.
Was that part of that tour then with the Night Sweats?
Yeah, with the Night Sweats, I ended up all over the place, you know?
Yeah.
And one of the times I was in Australia, I got to see a bunch of people. I got to see Hiatus Coyote, D'Angelo, made friends with the Marleys, you know?
Oh, wow.
Made friends, or not the Marleys, doofus, Whalers.
Oh.
Very different. More iconic to me. Whalers, they also sounded great. Saw Tom Jones, saw a bunch of people. But I saw Fantastic Negrito out there. And that fool, he's from Oakland, you know? He's amazing. He's very churchy. Like, he has that total gospel sound. I saw him there, and we chatted a little in the green room, but not very much. But I was like, yo, I really appreciate your stuff. And he asked me what I played, and I told him trumpet. And he was like, you know, maybe one time I'll want some trumpet or something, you know, like, hit me up. Never got in touch with him. Because that's before I learned the power of following up. And which kids learn the power of following up.
That's right.
Anyway, yeah, so I saw he was coming to town. I actually got hit up by the band asking if I wanted to buy a ticket, but I've been pretty broke since I got back in town, you know? And so I was like, I really wish I could, but I can't afford it. And I was like, man, I do really want to see him. So I hit up Tony Mason, who's a buddy of mine, does like some venue stuff around town. And Tony's like, hey, can you really please hook me up with a ticket to this? So I got to go and like check him out, and he was super rad, and like just a big stage presence, you know what I mean? Like, and like he's not fearful. A lot of musicians are fearful about talking about modern issues right now. You know, they want to make sure that they don't ostracize anybody, so that they can be part of this product that's heard on the scene. But I would like to encourage all of the musicians to, instead of going that route, make what you sound like and say what you want to say, so that music can go that route. Because if all of us do it, what are they going to do? Mm-hmm. No, this is terrible. Like, cool, that's what everybody's doing now, huh? What's pop now? You know? But he's not. He was, like, such a big presence and just wanted to, like, share everything. Like, this is a predominantly white crowd, but I want to share with you some of this experience I've had as a black man, you know what I mean? Just super rad. It's nice that, because I feel like that offers, like, us being human. It's like, I can't say that I've ever faced the struggles that a white woman in America would face. You know what I mean? It's a very different struggle. That's very real, you know? Like, this product, this image, you know? It's super sexualized image, which is really strange, you know? But meanwhile, they can't say they've ever experienced, like, walking down the street and, like, holding hands with their interracial girlfriend and been called a nigger for it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so it goes both ways.
Yeah. What, I'm thinking about a lot of things. You want to play something else, or you want to?
Sure.
Okay.
Let me unlock my computer.
Okay.
Hey, man. Oh, there it is. I'm going to do this one with no... Maybe. Oh, I did that. I forgot I did a mock fade out. I'm going to do something like this.
Okay.
For a long time, Mother Black didn't have a record. We only had like a few singles, a couple that I tried to record myself. But then Pat Neese, who plays drums in the Night Sweats, he helped me out, and we recorded a single with him. And this is like the interlude of that. It's pretty short. Cool. I really like it. 1,000 roses and 1,000 answers to paint a picture and to depict a portrait. A heart can be to any rhythm set. The heart can be to any rhythm set. A girl who never wore a watch. Patience is a finger to the cold cups. A heater for the broken heart, more than time. At me from the start, at me from the get. You get to get inside, get to get the best mango weed infused moonshine. Clap 2 times, 2 signs, 2 fine. I ain't got the best rhymes, but she waits for the ride. White Cadillac from the back, you can see white shark attack, bro. Hits her with the pickup line, so she picks up time for the win. White truth fact. Another day, bus stop, red drop, headlight, good night. White tea for me, no time I'm free. In a place to be, buzz with the bumble. Trees flow with the breeze, sit on the groove. Big hair with a new move, said. I admit I like to see a big fro, but the 10 years that it takes to grow, so, Mr. Fool, don't ask, you touch, you dead, Fred. Just the best, and then it's time to break the jam bread. Another new fan, it's a warm bed. Dance the devil's dance, meet God's dance. Meet eyes, meet souls, then the night's lance. Oi, fancy pants, you think you speak France? I speak love and rebuke those who speak cants. I can place you from a mile in a quick glance. I can place your fresh wool, tight hips to pants. I don't count sheep, it's for farmers and shepherds. The worst of the leopards count salt on his peppers. It's better than love. Better than sex, better than, and that's the best. I shit out a letter and then you're ready for rest and pet it to wet her and set it right. I digress, yes? To test the stresses I've created myself, but the time has come to flip the trick shelf. I'll pull up the quick help, I'll help up the sad well. Still, I'd rather help myself in a moment. Overly potent, the best bow's bow bent. There's sewage but no scent, contrite but content. Understand what I meant? The heart can be to any rhythm. Say, the heart can be to any rhythm.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's that one. That's a cipher of a rap verse. That verse comes from Dan Do. Have you heard those guys yet?
Who?
Dan Do is the name of the band.
Local?
Local,
No,
yeah. So the bass player from Mother Black, his name's Sean Dan Duran. He has this band called Dan Do, which is like this wild, like jazzy, like groovy stuff, you know?
Okay.
He asked me to do a verse for this song he did called She Waits. It's super like kind of down tempo stuff, and then it turns into this like kind of high beat. You should check them out. They're rad. I think they're playing Dazzle coming up here pretty soon.
Okay.
Yeah, Dan Do. Cool band.
Dan Do.
Really wild, you know? Those guys, they play other black guys, so many bands in there, you know? Oh, I should say this. We're playing Halloween.
Okay.
At the Mercury Cafe.
Okay.
Now, this is important for a lot of reasons.
Okay.
One, because we haven't played Halloween in a while.
Why is that?
I've been gone. mostly.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's hard to do Halloween shows because, like, you got to do something different.
Mm-hmm. And you have something in store?
Yeah, well, kind of. I mean, just by proxy. I didn't realize the importance of the night playing the Mercury Cafe. But this is the Mercury Cafe's 26th anniversary.
Wow.
In that location.
Right.
It's been 41 years.
Oh, I didn't know. Where was the location before?
I'm not sure. I'm only 28 years old.
Yeah.
I turned 29 this year. I was like, what?
Wow.
I just found that out. You know what I mean? Like, Maryland, that means immediately what I thought was like, well, she's watched everything change around her.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just from like the years that I can remember of the Merc, which is 10 or 15, like everything has changed. And like 5 Points, like that's like right there, right at the edge of it, you cross the park right there and that's it.
Right.
You're there. And 5 Points has completely changed, which holds like, it's weird because you're driving into 5 Points right there, right on Welton, block over. There's this big billboard. It says, "Keep 5 Points historic," with all of these like happy, like white families, and then you look across the street and there's this giant apartment complex, condominium
brand new one
built. You know what I mean? And it's like, wait a second, that's not historic. It's a miracle we still have the Smithsonian, and I encourage everybody to just show love to that place, even though it's not open all the time. Because if that place gets torn down, the world is gonna 5 Points is gonna freak out.
Well, now maybe you can help me because I've seen that place. What is it?
That's an old jazz club,
That's what it is, and so it still operates.
No,
it's been
okay. Closed for a really long time.
That's what I thought because that's what I thought. Okay, yeah. So but you're saying
that's
you need to keep that building. Is it registered as like a historic?
I think
site. It probably has to be, right?
I hope it is, man, because now it's gotten really expensive. I think the Mercury Cafe has been trying to register as historic at this point, and it's gotten really expensive. I think it's like an $800 fee to register.
Okay,
and you're not guaranteed to get accepted,
right?
But that place is like the history of jazz in Denver. Before there was El Chapultepec, and the Peck maybe was there. No, I don't think it was. But El Chapultepec's really old too,
right?
But that place, man, it was like Billie Holiday, like Basie, like that was like jazz back when jazz was pop music. You know what I mean? And then it closed, and they've threatened to turn it into other things. And I feel like every time people freak out, or like, we're gonna tear this down, people freak out, and then they're like, we're gonna renovate it and open it again. And everybody's like, yay! And then they don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that where you were raised in 5 Points, or?
I was raised in Montbello.
In Montbello.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But I spent a lot of time at 5 Points.
Yeah, because
especially after I ended up homeless, man, I was playing on the streets all the time. It became my goal to explore it because I grew up not really like able to go out a whole lot. I grew up real Christian. Very Baptist, very I guess non-denominational technically, but I was speaking in tongues at 12.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I don't really follow that faith anymore. Not in the way that the traditional one would. I feel like it's too exclusive, and that we live in an inclusive world. But I have found that I just got to it has helped me really branch out because my exploration to find out what I want to believe, which is something that everybody I feel like has to go through, has been very interesting. So I was wandering around 5 Points or wandering up here to the north side, which I never got to come to as a kid. I had to stay at home pretty much.
Oh, I see.
I used to come up to 5 Points all the time. First band that I got picked up in out of high school was a band called Danette Holloway and the Old Souls.
Okay.
And Danette still does stuff, and all of those guys do. Mikey Smith, who played keys in that band, that band has changed a lot. I think it's still around. But Mikey now is the guy who's been hosting that Metal Like Jazz Jam for 4 or 5 years now, which is the best jazz jam, which is super rad, So it's nice to see those guys still doing it. But that really cultured my development as an artist.
Okay.
And to be there, Brother Jeff's, man. As a community leader, to have Brother Jeff was amazing. I heard he just moved to California.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of, any community leaders, if you guys ever want to chat with me and you're out there listening, I would love to chat because I really am about getting this scene, to be more inclusive. I had a meeting almost a month ago. The second meeting is coming up, just trying to bring awareness and try to make some plans to make the scene inclusive. The example I gave was, think of all of the popular white male artists in Colorado, or just in Denver in general. And then I went down the list, not even that far. I didn't go into like all of the races, but I said white male artist, white female artist, black male artist, black female artist. And the difference is huge, you know? I don't know very many people who could be like, I know this black female artist who's amazing. I think we as a scene, we need to do a better job about being aware of what's out there, you know, and who's playing, you know. Another example I gave was, hey guys, name me a metal band. I can't do it, you know, but we should be aware. We have so many transplants coming to this scene right now that we should have seen a lot of new bands popping up from all over the place, and we should be loving on them. I know we're all unhappy that we have transplants here, but you want this music scene to really get amazing? Watch the transplants help us do it. Let's share friends. Let's share crowds. Let's help these people book these venues. You can't play the same venue every night, guys. You know, like, got to do it for each other and with each other.
What's the best venue in town?
Best venue in town? I've really been loving Syntax.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, kind of organize them by size, you know. I really love Syntax because Jonathan's been another staple in this scene for so long. Metalark, you know. Metalark doesn't happen the way that it does without Jonathan, you know what I mean? And now he's doing Syntax, and Syntax is amazing. It's an amazing venue to play. It's like, have you been there?
No, I was supposed to go during the UMS, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it's because it's just on the other side of Alameda. But you should come on the 11th if you'd like. You know, we'll throw you on the list and stuff, man. We're doing a headliner there. We're playing 2 sets. We didn't book an opener.
Okay.
And I think that maybe, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but I think Alpha's going to be the interlude in between our 2 sets. Doing some 45s, spinning some 45s.
Oh, cool.
And, but it's cool. It's like craft cocktails. It's like kind of a dark bar, you know, like good whiskeys. Like, I'm not drinking right now, but I have drank there a bunch, you know. Great food, good vibes, man, you know.
Right on.
And then if you're like looking a little bigger, I really like the Marquee. I really like Larimer Lounge. Even though Larimer Lounge is hard because Larimer Lounge has giant subs, you know, like, but then like it's like a long low room, so it's kind of hard to play, but the vibe is like really right, you know what I mean? High Dive, I don't know, venues are venues, you know what I mean? And I love a lot of venues, but I really, right now I'm trying to get into a place to do like more interesting shows, you know, like weird things. I just found out that the zoo has an event center, which I didn't know. So I'm trying to work on booking something there, you know, like, just because it would be crazy, you know what I mean? Like, I want to do things that people don't do often, you know? We've all gone and seen shows. Like, I want to go and see a show, you know? After seeing D'Angelo, who I love you, D'Angelo, but after seeing him, it was the first time. My entire life I wanted to see him. I had to, like, sneak downstairs and, like, watch D'Angelo on MTV2 because we didn't have cable when I was a kid, you know what I mean? I wasn't allowed to even listen to him, really. And seeing him finally, years of anticipation, which is the problem. You go into something with expectations, you're always going to be a little disappointed. But man, he was showboating. It was very chauvinistic. I was in Australia, and he, at one point, man, he throws up the fist. And like, that is not a gimmick for your chauvinistic-oriented show.
What do you mean, the fit just...
The Black Power fist.
Oh, okay.
He throws it up, but he's telling everybody to throw up the fist, and I'm like, these guys don't know what they mean. You haven't said anything about what this means. You're just using this as a gimmick, and I don't like it. I was really close, because I was excited, you know. It was Kamasi Washington, amazing. And then it was, after that was Hiatus Coyote, amazing. And then it was D'Angelo. I was like, yeah, D'Angelo's coming out. And then I was like, wait. And I was really close. And there's not a lot of black people in Australia, especially as dark as me. You know, you have a lot of Aborigines, but even the Aborigines, like, you don't see them as often. And yeah, he threw up the fist. I didn't. I was just sitting there. I had, by this point, stopped dancing and was just, like, staring at him, you know. And he, like, made the world's worst awkward eye contact with me. He looked up, and then he left. And then everybody's banging on things, calling him out for an encore. You didn't, like, 45 minutes later, this fool comes out. He's like, oh, you guys want me to play now? He's like, well, if I ask y'all to do something, you're going to do it, right? And I crossed my arms and shook my head at that man because I couldn't believe he went there. Like, no, man, I'm sorry. I do understand what the fist means, and it does mean that we're all equal in power, and that's amazing. But you didn't say that at all. You used it as a gimmick for your chauvinistic message, which I didn't like. That's the way he put that entire show on. It was like, looking at girls, he's like, humping me, and he's like, eh. I was like, dude, like, wow. D'Angelo, like, I thought that you were like, you know, you were sexualized, but I thought you were like a classy dude still. But no, it was like, it was lewd and rough. That being said, that was the first time seeing him. Maybe it was a rough show. Maybe he just had to try extra hard. I would go see him again. But, 3 strikes, you're out, man.
Wow. I bet you've seen all kinds of stuff. What do you want to do now?
I don't know. Well, I'll tell you, have you heard any of the other Black Star?
No.
Maybe I'll sneak peek a song real quick if you would be interested.
Please.
Yeah, so we've been recording this at the Spot Studios with Glenn Sawyer. And if there's any silent benefactors out there who want to pay for the rest of the record, that would be amazing. It's like 70% done. We'll get it done when we get it done, but I can't rush it,
And where is the spot for anybody that might be interested?
The Spot's out in Lakewood.
Okay.
And if you look up the Spot Studios, even on Facebook, you'll find those guys. The engineer who does a lot of the booking for them, I think his name is Glenn Sawyer. That's a homie. He actually did, they used to work for Radio Star out in California with Sylvia Massey. Sylvia Massey did Tool and No Doubt. And
okay.
Stuff. And they used to work with her, which was amazing, but, it didn't work out. And now they're here. But they did Air Dubai. They did Day Escape, the second record. Those were the engineers. I mean, those were the guys who did it. It's really funny that I'm going to play you something that nobody's really heard.
Oh,
This
awesome.
isn't complete yet. I do want to play it, though, because it's kind of cool. Did you hear when D'Angelo released his album? He didn't do... what he released wasn't even on the album.
Oh, really?
He released an instrumental of Black Hole Sun that he had been arranging.
Okay.
That old Soundgarden song.
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, yeah, this is cool. I love this. If I go sing karaoke, I'm probably going to sing some Chris Cornell anyway. So I was like, all right, cool. Let's listen to this. And then, the verse was never on it. There was some of the chorus on it, kind of. It was released on SoundCloud, and then that went away. And then a year later, the album came out without that song. And I was like, Angela, what happened to Black Hole Sun?
Huh.
But anyway, this doesn't have the chorus vocals on it. But it does have the verse vocals.
Okay.
Hey, man. Hey, you. Hey, you, iTunes. You're not smarter than me. Or are you? Weird.
What's happening? My iTunes is always messing up.
It's just not playing. You joik? I don't know why that's not working. Let's see if I just do it here. Can I see my telephone? This'll work. I want to mute my... Sorry about that, everybody.
Oh, that's all right. It's live. It's part of the magic.
It's part of the magic,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. There we go.
Just wanted to say hi, Grandma. I see that you're watching.
All right. Hi, Grandma. Hopefully my grandma's watching. I need to go see my grandma. I'm messing up.
Lee Shirley Sims says she met you in KC with the night sweats. Saying hi.
Hi, Lee. How are you doing? I wonder where... All right, here it is.
Theme for the speechless. When I
This is the other black, everybody.
Egress toward your blessing, repossessing path to success. Less stress, it's refreshing. Much better than guessing. Much better than the games that the fearful ones call testing. Investing and resting. The beast head straight to what I have decided I am destined. Bested by my guilt, but closing in on learning lessons. Heart straight, head is messing. Smart state, curious setting. At peace, no longer dreading. But wait. My problem's been solved, but I'm not at that point of faith. Wait, being scared means you have the courage to be brave. Wait, you are not a slave. Wait, you conquer the cave. Wait, and though you aren't the savior, there's one person you can save. Behave, don't shut down, abstain. Don't distract the warrior by the words you speak in vain. Don't hurt the ones you love by the words you speak in pain. Mistakes are just a portal to discovery, said dear Jane. It'd be a shame. Make it happy just one day. It'd be a shame if moments of love just went away, but still engraved in my heart from where I wrote you in the play. Your pain's not been mislaid, but these feelings just can't stay.
Wow. So that's that. Yeah, this album's been kind of fun because it's like, I didn't realize, I wrote a lot of these songs while I was homeless, and I didn't realize that it's kind of a concept, but it's just the way it worked out. But it's all stuff about being homeless, kind of, which I've faced a few times in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's been really interesting. I'm gonna turn this off. Sorry. That's all you get. that's a teaser, you know?
So what was the biggest lesson that you learned with the being homeless?
I mean, you really learn yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You learn to be like, all right, this is who I am, you know? And that, I think, is a big goal for a lot of musicians. I think I am, as far as like technical ability goes in town as a trumpet player, I'm at the bottom of the totem pole. I can think of a bunch who are amazing, you know, who are like amazing and can do whatever they want on a trumpet. I can't do quite whatever I want on a trumpet. So like then you can start to consider like, well, why is like Wes been getting gigs? But it's because I always sound like me, which is I feel like a goal for a musician. But I spent a lot of time just playing by myself, you know. So I feel like I achieved a little bit of like, this is what you sound like. People can like hear me on a thing and they're like, oh, that's definitely Wes. I recognize it by his bright tone and his warbly vibrato, you know? Yeah, so that's a big lesson. And I feel like that kind of became my goal in music, was to help people experience themselves. But then I realized you can't help people. So I had to change it to encourage people to experience themselves.
Yep, they got to help themselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if we could all like be really comfortable with who we are, I feel like we'd lose a lot of the racism. We'd lose a lot of this segregation, the classism. You know, that all is birthed out of insecurity, which I've started calling the Great American Epidemic.
Yep.
From the beginning. Why do we need these people are less than us? That's just reeks of insecurity to me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So let's beat it one person at a time.
Excuse me.
It's that time of year, man.
What I know. Unfortunately, I'm not looking forward to it. I used to like the winter, but not anymore.
Yeah. I'm trying to reclaim winter this year.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should do the same.
Yeah.
Just embrace it.
Yeah, embrace it with me. Holidays have like been really weird for me for, you know, about 6-7 years.
Yeah.
What year is it? 2016?
Nope.
10 years. Holidays have been weird for me.
And are you is everything okay now? Like, are you
Oh, yeah.
have a stable place and you?
Yeah, I have a stable place. I didn't for a bit, you know. After all, everything happened. Like, I found myself really recently homeless and with like having just had a seizure, like getting out of a long distance relationship too, and like no house. Like everything changed. 12 hours, night and day, which is fine, but it was totally scary. And now I'm, you know, open, hooked it up. I'm on smoking CBDs, and Chris Tetzelli from Night Sweats, the manager of Night Sweats, he hooked it up and like gave me some CBD oil. So like I take CBD oil, Charlotte's Web every day. So I haven't had a seizure in quite a while, you know, and most of my bitterness is gone from life, you know, from that current situation, and now like I'm feeling pretty good. But now I'm also feeling really determined and like a little frustrated with this music scene and just the art scene in general for becoming so cliquey. And I'm frustrated with myself for letting myself fall into that, you know what I mean? Like, without like people helping me out, you know, where I am literally nowhere without anybody helping me. I'm still on the streets playing trumpet.
Right.
And so I'm really determined to like change that. I'm working on trying to make a showcase of women musicians here in town. I'm going to call it Silent Diva, because there's some really big talent, and we just keep kind of ignoring it, you know. I mentioned I'm playing this band, Brittany Williams and the Unstoppable Groove, big voice. There's a new band that they're not even really that new. They've been around for a bit, but they're new to me because I wasn't paying attention. I was out of town like, oh, I'm famous. But like, no, that doesn't matter. You're nothing without like a good crowd around you. There's this band in town, Ghost Tapes. That's who we're playing with on Halloween at the Mercury Cafe.
Okay.
That girl Ishka has the biggest voice, and I'm not just talking like singing voice. I just mean like she has a lot of amazing things to say too. So yeah, you know her. Jess Parsons is amazing. Julie Davis, man, Julie is amazing and like so underrated. But she played with Nathaniel for years. You know, like an amazing singer, an amazing bass player. She's out playing. Megan Fong, Yem Floria, great act, you know, like there's so many amazing talents that I don't feel like we nurture. And then meanwhile, we're like, hey, like, why is everybody complaining about unfairness and inequality? And every guy in the music scene wants to be like, no bands and no girls in my band, no girls in my band. He's like, well, don't you see? Like, you're doing it both ways. You can't have it both ways. Why don't girls play more? Come on, guy. So I don't know, really focused on that and just like
trying to work on like developing some sort of way where I can be involved with some sort of outreach to schools, colleges, and high school, middle school. I mean, for middle school down, in most cases, I feel like the job of any musician is to nurture the want to create, And so, like, just to help kids discover, like, how do I want to create, be it musical or visual or whatever it is. And then from ninth grade up is to try and invigorate them with some sort of fire so that they keep it up. Because that's where a lot of kids quit. Now, from going to an arts high school, I'm really frustrated with DSA. I love UDSA, but I'm frustrated because they don't have an outreach program. Still, really. And like any conservatory you really go to is going to have some sort of an outreach program. I say any, but the big ones, And so that's a big part of why our scene, if you've noticed, the age of the scene, generally speaking, is going up. But it keeps going up because we're not really bringing in these fresh young kids because we have no outreach. And because everybody's like, I've put in my time, I've worked this hard for this. And it's like, yes, you have worked this hard for this. You've worked equally hard to like help other people out so that they don't have to go through this. So that next time they have to work a little less, and eventually like we have a really cultured scene that's always growing and always changing and moving. Which will happen eventually,
but it takes people doing that work.
Yeah.
And cultivating that scene and Okay.
So I'm working a lot on that. Trying to get a bunch of people on board to really make that happen, because it's going to take everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm working a lot on making a hip hop scene in Denver, that there's a hip hop scene that's not respected at all. And hip hop is kind of a raw thing, I don't know how hip hop got to be less raw, but we need to start meeting up, all of us hip hop cats, and just getting together. Maybe working on some projects with Kaylin Heffernan from Wheelchair Sports Camp.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know. I keep busy,
Right on. I know you do.
I try. If I don't, when I don't get busy, then I sit in bed just super depressed. So I just got to keep you keep working, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Just keep moving.
Yeah. Otherwise, you just think about everything that's wrong instead of affecting change.
Mm-hmm. That's absolutely right. You got one more in you by chance?
Sure.
Man, this has been awesome.
Yeah, thank you for having me so much.
Thank you so much for coming by, and I really appreciate it. And anytime you want to come back and bring anybody, bring the whole bring all 16 of the band members. We'll put them down here. We'll just move the desk out of the way.
Tiny desk style.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's see. I've been working on a couple of solo records because I stopped drinking while I was on Night Sweats tour.
Okay.
And I started. You have to feel that void immediately.
Yeah.
So I filled with that void with writing a song a day.
It's not a bad replacement.
Not a bad replacement at all. So this is.
Do you need this chord?
Oh yeah, that might be a good idea. So this is. I'm just gonna sing it. I'm not gonna try and play anything on it. I'm sorry, you guys. It's really lame of me just to open my Logic track and just play it and sing. But the words are very important because they all have to do with things. It's kind of like my tour diary. I realized. They all have to do with different experiences I had on tour. This one is called Feeling. The first album in general is called Love. And the album opens with a line that says, "Love, I am bleeding from a gash I've carried far too long, I thought I was going to marry that girl. I'm still a little bitter, so don't judge me. Only a little bitter, okay?
Hey, no judgment here.
Cool. All right, so here we go. This feeling, understanding, it could be so terrifying.
I knew it from the start. So who's to blame for my broken heart? And my God, it's gotten cold out. Let the ghost out from the closet, and I'm still standing and getting stronger instead of fear. I just love Songer, yeah. Bushaki shoots fit. Blakey short shoulder blows and it's done as old season walks in having fun. Nothing to lose. Came out with both guns blazing on the cats. Whoever sworn the lies. It was amazing. Who was raising the bar. 6 times 6 hours than avoiding the car. Let 10 marriage at the hour. Fantasy is where I be. Get my influence from what they see. Yeah. Well, now, sir. My face could melt away from the pressure. Oh, oh, there's no time that love could measure. Love, my face could melt away from the pressure. Ooh, oh, say there's no time love could measure. Oh, say, unravel, dabble, I'm in it for a minute, then it's finished. I'm looking for a fifth to diminish. Prohibit critics, limits of all Lizard blue. I've been cutting blue thoughts and lost because of who's shining your shoes through fame or through fashion. Compassionate passion, this is why I keep rapping. Beats fat ass like rerun from what's happening. We're Hong Kong foolery steeped in faux action. If I could drop all my assumptions, if I could drop all my assumptions, judgment's an ordinary life. I would just rather sit upon the moonlit coast. Much preferred than lost on lonely ghosts. If I could drop all my assumptions, judgment's an ordinary life. Ooh, yeah. I would just rather sit upon the moonlit coast. Much preferred than lost on lonely coast. That's it.
I got the best job in the world, I do believe. Wes, thank you so much for coming by.
Brother. Thank you so much for having me.
Tell people about the Halloween show just one more time. Make sure you get it out there.
Come on down, Halloween. It's on Monday, and it's Joseph Lamar And he's rad. He's been doing stuff in the jazz world, but he's like R&B soul singer. Then it's Ghost Tapes with Ishka, who's another really, really rad singer. And then it's Other Black with a really rad band and an okay singer, which is me. And we play, I think show starts at 9, but you should get there early because hopefully it sells out. I'm not going to say it's going to sell out because I don't want to jinx us, but it could sell out. We've been doing some work, and I feel like that, it's just great. If you guys have not seen the Mercury Cafe, it's a beautiful room. We're playing the upstairs room.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful room and just an underrated venue, Everybody should be aware. Throw that place lots of business, local love, You got to throw the local love out.
Right on. Thanks again.
Thank you again.
I appreciate you coming through.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
All right.
Go trick-or-treating, brother.
Yeah, I got the kids. I'm definitely going to do that. So.
Hey, you want to take me with you? I'm going to try and get my little siblings, but I think they're too old to trick-or-treat now.
Funny, man.
They're like 15. They're like, no, I don't want to go trick-or-treating.
Nah,
I'm like, come
too
on,
cool.
I'll come with you. You're hanging with Big Brother. They're like, no. I'll just go buy my own candy. I'm like, well, I'm happy you have money to go buy your own candy.
Thanks again, Wes. All right, we'll see y'all later.